Hi, good evening, everybody. We are opening the Fitchburg Cultural Council monthly meeting at 4:32 p.m. Today is Tuesday, March 16th. This is an open public meeting. This is live and being streamed live, so you are being filmed and recorded, and this will go down in Fitchburg's history as our March 2021 meeting. Tonight, we invite the public to speak at the beginning of the meeting, as long as it pertains to the agenda. We do have some attendees from the public here tonight, so we welcome all of you. Thank you for attending, and we will take comments at some point later on if you'd like to speak on agenda items. I'd like to mention that what the Fitchburg Cultural Council is. We are part of city government. We are actually a volunteer body put in place by the mayor's office. And we're part of the Massachusetts Cultural Council. And the Massachusetts Cultural Council works to elevate our rich cultural life here in the state. We partner with communities across the whole Commonwealth to expand access, improve education, promote diversity, encourage excellence in the arts, humanities, and sciences. And this is our local body here in Fitchburg. So welcome to our meeting this evening. Tonight, our first item on the agenda, we are going to do some announcements first. If that's okay with everyone. I wanted to briefly mention that the WPKZ, the radio station, last Thursday, they interviewed us and we were able to announce our grantees there and make a mention of that on the radio station here locally. So that was really wonderful. We wanted to thank WPKZ. We also have our member, Sean Goodlett, who has resigned from the council. That will go to the mayor's office, and he let me know that today. Also, the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance is looking for a secretary. So if anybody knows someone who would like to volunteer, they are in need of a secretary. And hopefully some of us can jump over to their meeting after this meeting. And Audrey has a couple of announcements as well.
Yep. So I have added the our grantees onto our calendar. So I just wanted to make announcements that Growing Places, according to their application, they should be starting to give out their Little Sprouts activity kits for low-income families. Stratton Players started doing auditions for artists and ancestors. If you would like to do tryouts, email strattonplayers@gmail.com, see if they're still doing that. They're doing auditions over Zoom. Art Stewards has begun their trainings on Tuesdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. They're skipping this week's for the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance annual meeting, which will start at 5 p.m. And next Wednesday, there will be a Fierce and Fabulously Fitchburg Females DFN special, which will be a roundtable discussion with former and current Fitchburg Cultural Council and Fitchburg Cultural Alliance leaders on it. I will be on it. I think Tamar will be, and Jesse will be there. So it'll be good. And I think that's it.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your work on that as well. And thanks for connecting us with WPKZ and getting that all taken care of. That was awesome as well. If Francisco doesn't mind, we have a time crunch tonight because of other events happening after us. If we could interview and meet Mr. Derek Cruz first, and then we'll jump to Mr. Ramos. Derek Cruz, welcome. We wanted to invite you this evening and have a chat with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. We have a letter of intent from Derek Cruz. He would be interested in joining the council. So I wanted to open up the forum now. If the council has any questions for Derek about him, I know that you all have his resume in the letter. Anyone with questions? Would you like to introduce yourself, Derek, and tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I think that'd be great, Derek, if you'd introduce yourself, and then I might have a couple questions for you.
Sure. Derek. I was born and raised here in Fitchburg. I went to graduate school in Los Angeles and worked in the industry out there for a few years. Just, kind of mind-numbing stuff, reality television. I was writing for a little bit, but I'm back here now and looking to get more involved in the community and someone suggested the cultural council with my background would be a good place to get involved. And I think I agree. I understand the importance of the arts in the community and the gateway that can be. So I'm here to get more involved.
Joe, you said you have some questions?
Yeah, thanks, Derek. I really like your resume. I have a theater industry background myself, and so it's always nice to meet fellow filmmakers and stuff. But I wanted to ask, I understand that you have met with Tamar already, and she's gone over the requirements for attending meetings and how our calendar basically goes and what your participation would be. So I'm not going to ask you any questions on those ends, but you're more than welcome to ask us if you have any clarifying thoughts that we can help you with. But what I did want to know is what was your inspiration to actually be part of the council? Had you heard of the council before? And if not, how did you hear about us? And what was your inspiration to inquire to join?
Well, I hadn't heard about you before, but as I've gotten more involved and met more people in the community, there's always everyone always has more names for me to go and reach out to. Like every time I talk with someone, there's always someone else that I should get in contact with as well. So I've just sort of been doing my own research and talking with people, and with the Fitchburg Redevelopment Authority, and I joined the board of trustees to the library with Matt, and so it's just been meeting people and hearing about availability and positions open and who might be looking for some more support and some help, and that has led me to the council.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions for Derek?
Derek, it's not. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Claudia. Go ahead.
Derek, I read over your resume, and it's quite impressive. How long has it been that you've been back in Fitchburg?
I came back at the end of 2019 to shoot a project and got about 80% finished. And as you know, the March happened about a year ago. The pandemic happened, and that project was shut down. So it's been whatever that is, a year and a half almost since being back.
Well, welcome back. Belated welcome back.
Thank you.
And Derek, nice to meet you, Derek. And also, I'm sure that Tamar explained to you in terms of the process moving forward. While it's great to be able to meet you, in this forum, to come onto the council, it's really the approval of the city council by way of the mayor's office. So you would need to submit a letter to the mayor and then go before the city council for a final approval. And hopefully, if you move forward with that, we can get you on board as quickly as we can, and hopefully for next month.
For sure. I was actually I went through this already with the library board of trustees and did the training and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
It's a similar process.
It is a process, but it's important to have the process. So.
Anyone else?
No, I just want to say that I only chatted with Derek a couple of times since we only had one library board meeting since he got on, but he's already shown himself to be engaged and interested. So I look forward to welcoming him to serve on the council.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, everybody. So I'd like to put this out to a vote to the council. I'd like to send a letter of support from our council to the mayor's office with his paperwork. I'd like to put that out to the council for a vote. Do we have any motions?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
That was a first from Matt and a second from Jim. May we do roll call, please, Joe? Joe, you're on mute.
There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, Audrey, your vote.
Yay.
Claudia,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Jesse,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
and Tamar.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you
Good
so
luck,
much.
Derek. We'll get you over to the mayor.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. So the other item that I had, I wanted to do a art stewards update. And I know Jesse's going to have to leave and Francisco in a little bit here. But Francisco, we welcome you. Thank you so much for coming this evening. I'd love you if you could unmute and tell us a little bit about the Art Stewards program and what the council should know.
Thank you, Tamar. Well, as Tamar says, my name is Francisco Ramos. I am the Director of Community Organizing at New View Communities. And almost a year and a half, a little bit of after a year and a half, we created a program, training program called Art Stewards. And we are now going on our cohort number 5. Jesse is coordinating the training, and we had about, what was it, Jesse? We had 21 people in the room.
Oh, I think there were 25. It was a
25?
full room. It was a full room last week. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So we have trained basically, I want to say that with this cohort is going to be close to 65 local artists. And training is a
Wow.
very loose word. It's more like conversations. It's kind of like entering into a small presentation and then conversation about issues and topics that local artists are interested in. As some of you might know, New View is involved in the creation of a project in Fitchburg called the Fitchburg Arts Community that will renovate the B.F. Brown School and 2 other buildings into affordable housing. And because it's basically across the street from the Fitchburg Arts Museum, there is a plan to create, affordable housing for local artists, and defining artist as very broad so that it can include everybody, basically. Yes, so the Art Stewards was created in an attempt to start getting in touch with the local community of artists and raising awareness and creating the network, so that when this project is ready several years from now, maybe 3 years from now, the local artist community will be ready to apply for the housing. It will be ready. And of course, local artists, as they get to know each other, now there is a growing list of projects and activities that they are organizing. But at least for New View, the connection with the Fitchburg Arts community is very important. So, everybody's welcome to the trainings. The trainings are free of charge and are open to everyone. And, usually take place, there's 3 trainings per year. Right now we're in the spring cycle. There will be a summer cycle and then a fall winter cycle. And if anybody's interested, they can get in touch with Jesse. Thank you, Tamar.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I know that the Arts Collective came out of the Stewards training, right?
Yep.
So it's interesting that potentially, bye Jesse, you have to go.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta go. I'll
Gotta go.
see some of you soon.
Okay.
Bye, Jesse.
So it's possible, Francisco, that we could have other groups come out of that training as well.
Yes, and it's not because of the training. Obviously, the local artists are there and they have their skills and the vision and the desire. But it just happens to be that the Fitchburg Arts Collective was created by 4 art stewards that met in the training. Yeah.
Is there anything that the council could do to assist?
Well, hopefully as the local artists get in touch with the art steward network and they become, as we say, activated, hopefully some of them will come and serve at the council. We hope that their activity will support the cultural organizations and institutions that are already in the city. I know Jessie is going to try to do that directly with the Alliance as she becomes the president. How can she integrate the stewards? But it would be great if that can happen too with the council. Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for Francisco?
I have a couple statements I want to make. First is since this is a public forum and there'll be, hopefully this will get shared around the interwebs and such, I'd like to just let people know that if they're interested in joining the Art Steward program or any of the steward programs that New View offers, you're welcome to contact the cultural council, and we can make that connection for you. We don't have a screen up to sort of explain what to do, but our email address is, what is our email address? I can't read my screen.
Fitchburg.mcc@gmail.com.
There we go. Thank you very much. And second, I'm particularly proud of the Steward organization that's been built, and there have been 4 or 5 nonprofits that have come out of the Steward programs in the other areas of focus. So it's a very valuable thing, and it's really doing wonders to bring this community together.
Thank you, Joe. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
I just want to make a note that the Art Stewards Spring Session was given a grant by us. They are one of our grantees. The Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, no, the collective, that's the one that is they're doing a artist publication, which is another one of our grantees.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And I'm a graduate of one of the Steward sessions. It's really a great forum. Thank you so much, Francisco, for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much. And sorry, I have to go now to the Alliance, but
no problem.
Nice meeting you, and welcome, Derek. I hope we can connect in the near future.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So our next agenda item is our grantee reception, Fitchburg Open Studios update. I just wanted to give a quick update on this. So the museum has approved us to use their outside courtyard. This is on the 29th of May at 4 p.m. And we're approved for 50 people outside. This may change, obviously, with the governor's rulings as the situation changes. They also have available for us 3 to 4 small tents. If we would like a larger tent, I'd like your advice on what you guys suggest. We can reach out to the city, to Marissa, if we'd like a larger tent. However, they have 3 or 4 that we can use. They also have for us outdoor power, which will accommodate an amp. They have a screen projector as well that we can use for possibly a PowerPoint about the grantees like in the past. And also Eddie's Music, he has agreed to perform for us without cost. And if we would like to have a band, there would be a cost if we would like more musicians. So I'd like to ask what you all think of this information and what suggestions you might have. Any ideas? Should we get a full band or just have Eddie? Any feelings on that?
Yeah, we'd like to pay our musician, whoever.
I like either. I think it would be nice if we could find money in our administrative funds to pay Eddie for a solo performance. He's performed for free for us for a long time. And if we're in a position to pay him now, which we might be, I think it should be considered.
Okay.
And if we are able to afford a band, Eddie's Jazz Band is one of our grantees.
Okay.
Which I think is 3 or 4 members.
All right, I can
I
find.
don't know if they have a name.
I will ask Eddie. I'm sure he's.
I think it's the Jazz Depot.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? He didn't write it on the application.
I will find out. I also wondered if someone would be available to do a presentation about the grantees. If anybody would be savvy enough to handle that. I guess it would be a PowerPoint. Is that what would you assume? How did you do it in the past, Joe?
I used a PowerPoint presentation. I'm happy to share the one we used in the past, and then you can just copy and paste the grantee related information into those slides.
That's great.
And I'm fairly adept at doing timings and what have you, so I can set it up so it auto plays and starts over at the beginning when it gets to the end.
Okay.
Gonna have it continuously running during the event.
That is great. Okay. All right. Any other suggestions on what we need for this? Ideas?
Refreshments.
Yeah, we're kind of thinking a food truck because that will eliminate some food situations with our current pandemic. I don't have any connections in that department. I don't know if anybody has a connection that would be, that would work maybe, or a suggestion on a company.
How
Could
would
talk
that
to
work?
Zapata.
Zapata,
Yeah, they
Ipana?
have a food truck.
connection there?
Would we be supplying the food or would it people buy the food?
Well, in the past, I know with council events, usually we would supply something, right? But things are a little different this year.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
Also, Finicky Fork
I'm
is
sure Casey
out there.
probably has a connection, could reach out to them.
okay, I'll make a couple notes. All right, so we still have some things to work out, but I hope you all schedule this date and we can all make sure we're there. And Joe, I would love that PowerPoint. Thank you so much.
Yep,
We
I'll get it over to you.
And then if there's no other information on that, the Fitchburg Open Studios, we sent the first email out. I checked with the Boulder Art Gallery. There's no submissions yet. So I know part of my job will be pushing to get that out to everybody. So if anybody can help on social media with posting about it, the application is online and it is correct. And Peter is waiting for applications. So when they come in, he'll let us know. So that's the update there. And then if there's no other comments on these two topics, I wanted to go to our treasurer and grantee reports from Jim. We'll start with Jim.
Okay, sure. Won't bore people too much with money's discussion, but our local funds continue to remain the same as they were last month of $1,645.95. Our Mass Cultural Council funds from FY20 is set right now at $7,841.92. And that includes our administrative funds, our encumbered funds for 3 grantees that we're carrying over into the next to this year, and the return funds that we have remaining in that account are applied to our FY21 granting amount of $45,236. Our allocation since our last meeting came in from Mass Cultural Council of $43,100. So far, since that money has been deposited into our municipal account, I've had 20 grantees submit requests for funding for a total of $18,024. And that remaining for our remaining grantees, as they submit this request for funds of $25,076.
Thank you, Jim. Could you repeat the Mass FY 2020 amount?
$7,841.
Thank you.
And I should explain that has gone up $1,000 since last month. And Eileen can maybe expand on it when she talks about her outreach to our grantees from FY20. But as she was reaching out to grantees that hadn't submitted their final reports, one grantee, St. Bernard's High School, were not able to hold their event last year, and they were for $1,000. And through Eileen's efforts, they returned $1,000 to our account from FY20, and that was deposited in that amount.
So that's what brings the 7,840.
Yes, yeah, $1,000 more than last month.
Okay. All right, Eileen, for the grant coordinator report, give us an update.
Well, thanks, Jim. I got your list of organizations you've been in touch with, and they're going to get their grant. I have to write them an email and send them the rest of the materials that they need to process and go through with their grants. The unfortunate thing is my computer crashed last week and destroyed all my files. And yes, isn't that awful? I took them down to the Geek Squad and they said, well, they couldn't get them out. They said, well, if you want to pay $1,000, we can send it out. I said, no, I'm sure I can rebuild them. But anyway, I'll be talking to you, Jim. I think you can help me with some of this stuff. I have my email and that's okay. But that's kind of that.
Wow. Is there anything can be done about that, Joe? With IT?
Funny you should ask. Eileen, I was going to suggest that after the meeting or in the next couple of days, just get in touch with me. If you still have possession of your hard drive with the inaccessible data, I might be able to extract it for you. That's part of
Oh,
what I do for a
okay.
living. So
Wow.
Oh, all right. Actually, no, I was so, and I'm sorry, Joe. I left the computer with, I was so annoyed. I said, just keep the piece of junk. So I don't have my hard drive anymore.
okay.
Oh, no.
I know, but they said it wasn't any good. So what can I do?
You should have let us know, Eileen.
Well,
We would have.
I didn't know there was an expert in the house. Had I known. So anyway, it'll work out. It'll work out. I mean, actually, Jim, I have all the paper files, most of them.
Okay,
So,
that's good.
which is ironic because I always pride myself on being able to, put everything online. And Jim says, well, he's a paper guy. Well, maybe, thank heavens I was both a paper guy too. So that's it for me. But I'll be working on those other things this week.
Well, thank you very much, Eileen. Let us know what we can do to help.
Okay, thank you.
And that is all I have, guys. I would love if we could conclude early today so that we can all attend, anyone who can, no pressure, attend the Alliance meeting, because I think it's their annual, what's the proper term?
Annual meeting.
Yeah, it's their annual meeting. Like, this is the big one. So they are voting tonight on new leadership roles. So anyone who can attend, reach out to me if you don't have the links. So is there anything else I'm missing? I see something in the chat. Am I missing something?
No, I just forgot to mention 2 more events that are happening right now. The Worcester Chamber Music's play Peter and the Wolf is now streaming for free. You can just reserve on their website and watch it anytime on demand till March 30th. And the Arts and Culture Directory is now accepting listings at the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance. And
Yeah, the Alliance is that's ongoing, I think, up until May.
yes.
So yeah, that's a good thing. If anybody knows an organization, including, I know they're taking ads from actual businesses as well, not just arts organizations. So any businesses who might be interested in running an ad, I know the Alliance is looking for support. So that's good.
They accepted my request for the Curious Escape Room, so why not?
That's great. So I'd like to adjourn the meeting. If there is any other comments on our agenda for tonight. If so, may I put it to a vote?
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, Jim. Do we need to go through roll call, Joe?
Just a show of hands that everybody's okay with adjourning the meeting at this time.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Tamar. Good meeting.